Challenge Wednesdays. I'm here in our office in Norwich and it's really empty and I'm all on my own. And it's a beautiful day outside and we're going to have some fun together today. What we're going to do, I've got some challenges for you. All done with home objects that you can collect from around your house, and so you can take part if you like. If you are viewing and you want to let me know that you're here, please give me a comment or a like, and that'll be lovely. Okay, so the first one is you'll need a couple of forks. So if you want to go to a kitchen drawer and grab a couple of forks, you'll need one of those, and you'll need a matchstick. Okay, a couple of forks and a matchstick. Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of time to do that. So what have you been doing today? Have you been out enjoying the gorgeous weather, or have you been stuck inside? I went out for a tiny little stroll earlier, but it wasn't very exciting. Right, so you got your forks and your matchstick. Okay, right. Now, what you're going to do is this. All these things you can challenge members of your household to do, and they're all from this book called 101 Bets You Will Always Win, okay, by a guy called Richard Wiseman. Okay, so they all come from there, so blame him. Okay, here we go. So you'll need your couple of forks, okay, and you'll need your matchstick. Now the challenge is this: you go to a person and you say, I bet you that I can balance these objects on the tip of my finger. And they'll go, no, I don't think you can do it. And you say, yes, I can. And they say, no, you can't. And you say, yes, I can. And they say, okay, do it then. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to balance these two forks and this matchstick on the tip of your finger. Okay, so what you're going to do is this. You put your forks together like that so they overlap, okay, like that. And then you stick your little matchstick through the middle, like that. You can see that. So I can do this. I've done it before. Right, let's do this again. Right, so put like that. Stick your matchstick through the hole in the middle, like that, so it keeps your forks together, like that. Oh, no, it's all going wrong. No, we can do this. We can do this. Right. Stick. Or maybe I stuck it through from the other side. Maybe it was that. Okay, let's stick it through from the other side. Okay. And then, there you go. Balancing them on the tip of my finger. 3 objects like that. There you go. A nice little balancing trick for you there. Right on the tip of your finger. There you go. So that's the first one. How to balance 2 forks and a matchstick on the end of your finger. Very simple. There you go. Try that at home. That's a simple one to start with. Now, the other one is, this next one is a bit tricky. So I need to angle the camera down here a bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'll just angle that like that. Here we go. Right. So you will need for this a bottle, okay? And you will need a banknote for this. I borrowed a £10 note off my wife. Don't worry, she does know I have it. The challenge is this, okay? The bottle goes upside down on the £10 note, just like that, which is quite hard to balance, it is. And you say to somebody, I bet you I can get that £10 note from out underneath that bottle without lifting the bottle up or touching the bottle in any way. Okay, that is the challenge. Can you get the banknote out from underneath the bottle without touching the bottle? Okay. Oh, my wife just says this is great. Thank you, my dear. You're great too. Right, here we go. So I am going to get that £10 note out from underneath that bottle without touching the bottle. I can touch the £10 note, obviously. Right, here we go. Ready? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll do that again, just in case it was a fluke, which it probably was. Here we go. Right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, well, we did it the first time. Let's see if we can do it 2 out of 3. The idea is to bang the table a little bit. If you bang the table a little bit, the bottle actually lifts off a tiny fraction and you can grab the banknote. Here we go. Ready? Oh, I can do it. There you go. Try that one at home. Bottle, banknote. Say you can get the banknote out from underneath the bottle. All right. Next one. You will need a empty toilet roll. There must be loads of these floating around somewhere. Empty toilet roll. Okay, here we go. And the idea is you say to somebody, I bet you can't drop this toilet roll onto a table and get it to bounce onto it and onto its end and stay on its end. Right? You've got to actually drop it, right? I bet you can't do it. Because the chances are, if you drop it, it will fall over. So, the only way to do it, so the book says, this book here, by the way, if you missed that, 101 bets you will always win, right? The secret is not to drop it end on. Don't drop it end on. The secret is you drop it side on, which seems strange, but that's how it works. Side on, right? If you drop it side on, you've got more of a chance for it to land on its end. So we'll give it a go. It doesn't work every time, okay, but it does work sometimes. So let's see if we can do it. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. No. Oh, nearly. Oh. Ow. Oh, this... I did this loads of times before and it worked. It's not working now. It's very embarrassing. Right, let's try it again. Yes! Yes! You see? I did it. And again. Oh. 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 Yes! Okay. Now, apparently you will never do it. If you do it end on, you will never do it because it will always fall over. Okay. So the secret is to do it sideways. Let's do it one more time. Come on. Come on. Yes! Okay, so there's another little thing for you to do at home with your family. Okay, now, what should we do now? I know what we'll do. Right, so let's move this back here. You need 6 glasses and you need some kind of liquid. Okay, 6 glasses and some kind of liquid. Right, so I have 1, 2, let's put it that way round. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In case you're wondering where the squash has gone at home, I nicked it. Right, so you've got 6 glasses, okay? My head's being chopped off. Hello. Right, now the idea is you say to a person, moving just 1 glass, okay, 1 glass, you need to arrange them so they are alternate liquid, non-liquid, liquid, non-liquid, liquid, non-liquid, if you see what I mean. So they need to end up being, I'll just move quite a lot of glasses so we know, they need to end up being like that, all right? So liquid, non-liquid, liquid, non-liquid, liquid, non-liquid, right? But you can only move 1 glass, so let's put them back in the order they were. Right. Only move 1 glass. So what would you do? Huh? Any ideas? Any ideas? Anybody want to type a comment? Gemma's loving this, thank you. Nick's smiling at me. This is good, I'm getting response. Right, anyone want to give an idea of how you would do it by just moving 1 glass? Any ideas at all? No? No? Anybody? No? 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 Oh, there is a reason we're not wealthy. Oh, come on, Helen. What do you mean? I keep nicking stuff for youth work. This is true. I do. Yeah. Right. I'll tell you how to do it. No, Gemma doesn't have a clue. Well, Gemma, I'm going to tell you. It's very simple, and this is all you got to do, right? 2nd glass in. Pick it up. Pour the liquid into that glass. And put it back down. Liquid, non-liquid, liquid, non-liquid, liquid, non-liquid. You see, it's so simple. There you go, little challenge for your family at home. How do you get them arranged again. Let's just do that just in case you missed that. Right, so there's a little fly in the liquid there. Oh, poor little thing, it's drowned. A little fly. Right, I won't drink that later. So, liquid, liquid, liquid. Got to rearrange them, touching only one glass into liquid, non-liquid, liquid, non-liquid, liquid, non-liquid. Touching one glass only. Here we go. Ready? Can you swap them around? Yeah, but only touching one glass. So you've got to, where do you put it? You can't put it there. You can't put it in front because they've all got to be in a line. So you've and you can't do it, can you? So the secret is to touch in one glass only. Pick that up, pour liquid into there, and put it down. That's the secret. Right. So there you go. Right, my last little challenge before the big challenge with an Easter theme, as it is coming up to Easter, I will use, right, here is a bit of paper with an arrow on it, which is pointing one way. Right, and here's a challenge. You say to somebody, I bet you that I can make that arrow, I'm blowing it over. I bet you I can make that arrow go the other direction without touching the bit of paper. At all, with my hands. At all. In fact, with any part of my body, I'm not going to touch that bit of paper, and I can make that arrow swip and change them in the opposite direction. So instead of pointing that way, it's going to point that way. And you say to your friends and family, I bet you don't think I can do it. And they say, no, we don't think you can. And you say, ha ha ha, well, I can actually. And this is how you do it, if it doesn't fall down. You simply take another glass with some liquid in it, and this is science. Put it in front of there. Oh, let's angle this down. This is the wrong angle. Go down, 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 down. Yes. Oh, I touched it. Right, hang on, let's do it again. Right, there's a bit of paper. Right, with the arrow, here's your bit of liquid in the glass. Put that in front of there, and it's gone in the opposite direction. Look at that! Isn't that amazing? Look, it's going one direction. Without touching the bit of paper, I can make it go in the other direction. Here we go. Look at that! It's going in the other direction. That's completely amazing. Thank you very much. Don't applaud, just throw the money. Thank you, I need it. Good! So, there are my little challenges for you to try at home with your family. Right, I'm going to move everything over here because I've got a big challenge now I want to do with you on an Easter theme. So I'm going to move this over here. You're coming over here with me. You're going to go up there. I'm going to point that like that. And I'm going to put over here. Now, my last challenge involves this here, tank of water. All right. This again I borrowed from home. Sorry, Helen. I will put the stuff back in it later. Okay, right. Okay, we're going to be talking a little bit about Easter as we do this, and the message of Easter, which is basically the central bit to the whole Christian message. And as I do this challenge and talk about this tank of water, I'm going to tell a sort of story, if you like. So, I want you to imagine, right, that it's the beginning of the world, right? And God has just made the world. Now, the Bible says, and Christians believe, that when God made the world, it was very good. God looked at all he had made and has said, that is very good. So our clean water represents the goodness of the world, the purity of the world that God originally made. It was very good. And into that world, I'm going to drop some coins. Okay, so I've got a 50p, I've got a 10p, I've got a 2p, I've got a 20p, I've got a 5p. Put them in there. Okay, so these can represent the people in the world, right? They're in the world, it's all great, it's brilliant, it's all pure and clean, it's great. And the Bible says that in the beginning, mankind and God had a really cool relationship. It was really good friendship. Nothing got in the way of it. So I can see the coins really clearly, and they can, if they had eyes, they can see me. Actually, I'm going to put into here as well my wedding ring, because that's precious to me. So I'm going to put that in there. Look! Right, so precious things, worth a bit in there, okay? Because people are worth something, right? We're not mindless accidents from a chemical reaction that happened billions of years ago. I believe we're made by God, okay? He made us, he put us in a great world at the beginning. But we all know, do we not, that the world is not perfect. Things have gone wrong, okay? Things have gone wrong. And that happened, the Bible says, when basically mankind turned around to God and said, stuff you, we know better than you, you made this rule about not eating from the tree of life, but, you know, I think we know better, really. And so they turned their back on God and rebelled. We call that sin, and sin came into the world. And suddenly, mankind's relationship with God was spoiled. So I'm going to put some mud into this water. And that's made it go really quite manky. Now I can't see the coins. And if those little coins had eyes, they couldn't see me. So they're in a bit of a mess. And that's what happened. The relationship between mankind and God was spoiled. It was broken. They found it hard to see God. Now, if I'm God and I'm looking down, I still love my people in there. But they can't see me. I'm concerned about them. And the challenge is this. Would I be prepared as God to, as it were, reach down into that mess and rescue those coins which represent my people? Would I be prepared to do that? Well, of course, it's fine, isn't it? It's only a bit of dirt, that would be all right. I'll do that. Yeah, why not? I'm not going to yet, though. Because we all know our world is a little bit worse than that. The Bible says that over the years, the consequences of man's rebellion against God just got worse and worse and worse. It's just built up. Not only man was affected, all creation was affected. There was murdering. There was... Yeah, that is really actually very skanky. All rotten stuff went on, and creation itself was warped and twisted. Which is maybe why we've got deadly viruses around now as well, if you think about that. So, all creation was marred. I'll just hold this up to the camera, some very yummy stuff out my bin, really. Compost, old tea bags, bit of Hoover fluff, some porridge, that sort of thing. I'm going to pop that into my... Oh, what does this say? Hang on, I've got a comment. I'm going to read it. Get my glasses on because I'm an old man and I can't read. Anna says this is epic. Oh, thank you. Right, okay, right. Thanks, Anna. Right. So, I've got my gunky bin stuff. All right, I'm going to plop that into my... Oh, it's really gross. I'm going to pop that into my water. Oh, man, that's... Oh, I'll just bring the camera over so you... Oh, hang on. So you can have a look at this, because this is quite foul. Whoa. There you go. That is what my water looks like now. A nice little floaty bit of dust, a tea bag, peelings. That is rotten. That is not nice at all. Right. So, oh God, my people are in there. They're in a mess. They're hurting. They're in pain. What do I go, oh my goodness me, this is a rotten mess. I don't want anything to do with that. Or do I reach down and rescue my people? Well, I'm tempted not to because it's looking a bit gross. But it gets worse than that. Because the world, man, there's some awful stuff in the world. What should we put? Oh, yeah. Oh, there's some people are just, don't you find some people are just horrible? Some really evil hearts. Really evil. A bit like maggoty worms. Just see that? Oh, maggoty worms. Oh, they're all in the world. Lots of evil things. Cheating, lying, stealing. Just horrible, yucky, evil stuff going on in the world. So we're going to put all those little wormy maggots in there. They're all floating around in there. Ugh. Now that's pretty gross. Am I going to rescue my people? This is the challenge. If you were me, if you were here, would you put your hand into that and get the coins and the ring out? I don't know if you would. I don't know if I want to, because it is really quite horrible. But it's worse than that. I'm afraid the world's worse than that. If you could see what God could see. You know, the Bible says that God is so pure and so holy and so just that he can't have anything to do with sin. He can't have anything to do with it. It repulses him. It just has to have nothing to do with it. That's why a living man can't see God, because me and my sin and my rottenness and just the little things that I do wrong, if I was to see God in all his holiness, I would die. God can't have anything to do with sin. So, this is how bad it's going to go. This is how bad God sees sin as. I went out and got this yesterday. I picked it up in a poop bag, because what is in here is actually poo. Yeah, it's poo. Because basically sin is like poo. Okay? And so I'm going to put our poo in our water, into our world that was once pure and clean and holy. And it's just over the years got totally messed up and filthy and rotten. Our poo's gone in. And that's the state of our world. Let me come here and let me show you what this is like. There you go. There is our sick world, our fallen world, our messed up, pooey, maggoty world. And that's the state we're in. Okay. So basically, God has every right to say, that's it. That is it. It's a mess, man. You brought this on yourselves. All right, this is not my fault. I am not going to have anything more to do with that. You're disgusting. I'm going away. God has every right to do that, you know. Let's just read these comments coming up here, because I want to interact with people. It's poo. Gosh, it's just, yes, I know. It's poo. Imagine if I dropped the phone. I know. Imagine if I dropped the phone. That would be awful. Right. So, this is the thing. This is where the rubber hits the road, because it is real, right? There's poo in there. Every other religion on the planet says this, right? You're in that mess. We're all in the mess, okay? And it's good to recognise we're in the mess. And it's good to recognise that we need to find the way out. But every other religion on the planet says, you know what? You get yourself out of that mess, right? You need to get to the holy God. You need to get to heaven, or whatever you want to call it. You need to find a way to get yourself out of that mess. So you better start praying. You'd better start worshipping. You'd better stop washing. You'd better start doing lots of nice things to people. You better start a lot of self-sacrificial stuff to get yourself out. Climb up the side of the tank, if you like. Get yourself out of that mess and get yourself to God. That's what every other religion on the planet says, apart from Christianity. Because Christianity is the total opposite. And I want you to hear this. Christianity is the total opposite to every other religion on the planet. Because in Christianity, God says, I know you're in a mess. I know. But you cannot do a single thing about it. I am the only one outside the tank. I am the only one not in the mess. I and only me have got the power to do something about this and rescue you. So in Christianity, it's as if God rolls up his sleeves. If I had sleeves, I'd roll them up. and he prepares himself, and in the person of Jesus, who Christians believe is God in human form, or God with skin on, God gets involved. He sticks his hand into the mess of our world. In fact, not just his hand, his whole body. He is born in the mess of a stable in Bethlehem. In a troubled time, he becomes a human baby in the mess of our world, and then he grows up. And he lives in our mess, and he feels our pain. And he goes around and he meets people troubled, and he meets people sick, and he meets people just depressed, and he meets people just messed up and torn apart by this messy world. And you know what? He's doing what I'm doing. He gathers them. He gathers a people, and he gets them, and he says, come to me. If you're messed up by this world, I can rescue you. I can give you what you need. And I'm going around here and I'm finding in amongst the poo and the maggots and the mud and the rubbish precious things. And he gathers them to himself in his hands. And he gathers them and he says, believe in me, I've got a way out. Okay, I've got enough. But more than that, whilst Jesus is in the world, we're coming up to Easter. People hate him for doing this, actually. They hate him for saying, I am the sinless one. I am God come to rescue you. They hate him. And so they plot against him. And they arrest him. And they execute him on a cross. They nail him up there. And he says, and they say, have that. We don't like the sort of thing that you're claiming. We don't like you saying you're God. Who are you? Because you're just a man. But they couldn't see, actually, that Jesus was God in human form, rescuing mankind. And on the cross, while Jesus hung there, he said something really important. He said, my God, why have you abandoned me? Why did he say that? Because on the cross, Jesus absorbed all this mess. It's like he took it all on himself. And he took the punishment from God, the righteous punishment that we deserved against all the mess we made of this world and ourselves. And Jesus took it all on him. And it's like he absorbed it. And so we don't have to face it. And then he was buried in a tomb. And he was there for 3 days. But it didn't end there, did it? Because I'm not going to end, my hand's still in the water. I'm not going to leave it here. Easter Sunday is all about the time when there was a glorious resurrection. God couldn't stay dead. You can't kill God. And so he came. And he came back out of death. But in my hand, I have some things that I rescued. Found some coins. So have a look. There you go. There's one. There's another one. And most of all, I found my wedding ring, which is the thing I really wanted to find. So Jesus said, if you come to me in your mess, you don't have to get out of the mess. You can't get out of the mess. Come to me in your mess. I will grab hold of you. I will take you. I've defeated death and sin. I will clean you up. There's some water here. I'm going to clean up these things. And you can come home and live with me in heaven. And that's the only way you're going to get there. So there you go. There's my challenge Wednesday. I did a few little challenges earlier on that you can do with your family. But I wanted to tell you about the challenge that God was facing. The challenge of this messy world. And what God did about it in the person of Jesus. And how he came and he saved you. Okay, that's what I want to say today. Let's just see if there's any comments before I go. Just imagine if I dropped my phone. Right. Thank you for listening. So tomorrow Yeah, I'm going to wash my hands, Nick, don't worry. I'm going to wash my hands. Right, so tomorrow Jenny is going to have a thoughtful Thursday, so no doubt she'll be talking a little bit more about Easter. And until then, stay safe and spread love and not germs. Bye.